Hello, welcome back. It's been another week. I have been busy decorating as always. Well, not as always, but since last week. I told you that I was redecorating my house, my living room, and now I have moved on to the kitchen. Let's be honest, I won't be finished until the whole house is redecorated, so please bear with me. I know there aren't like loads of people who regularly watch my videos, so it shouldn't be too much of a loss. It definitely won't be too much of a loss because it's only me, hello. But I just wanted to say this is a reason, okay? I have, my spicy little brain has decided that now is the perfect time to redecorate my whole house, so that is what we're doing. It's going alright so far, but on another note, I feel rubbish all the time. I feel really sluggish and just heavy. Obviously my weight doesn't help, so I've just bought a NutriBullet blender, hoping that changes my life. Probably won't, but here we are. So your girl's going to be making smoothies every day, and hopefully that will stop me drinking as much coffee, because today's video is not about coffee, it is not about NutriBullets, so I'm just gonna leave that there. Always on a tangent. The video hasn't even started yet and I'm already on a tangent. Is this a good sign? Is this a bad sign? Who knows? All I do know is I've got a real bad cold, so if I sound nasally, that's why. It's not a cold actually, it's hay fever, but it's the same thing. It's the same symptoms. So, today we are talking about this whole drama surrounding the transition blushes that Patrick Ta has just released. First of all, I'm just going to say, I think the prices that these blushes are priced at is disgusting. Yes, it's Patrick Ta, so what did we expect? But where do you get off, Patrick? Huh? Where do you get off putting them at that price? Now, to be honest, I don't know if my disdain is warranted for this, because it is priced at $28, pounds, whatever, wherever you are in the world. But it says $28 for, a transition blush palette thing, which is obviously the main blush shade, and then a transition shade to blend into your concealer. First of all, I really struggle with this. I struggle with it. For me personally, I feel like it's more about technique than what you're using when it comes to transitioning blush. I don't know if that's right, but to me, in my head and my experience, all you need to do is be a little more light-handed when it comes to blending your blush closer to your concealer here. So I'm struggling to understand what a transition blush actually is and why it's necessary. But the main point of today's video is that it isn't even an idea that Patrick Ta has come up with, and he is trying to have it patented. Patented? However you pronounce it, wherever you're from. He is trying to have this trademarked. Transition blush, trademarked. But honey, that wasn't your idea. Blush has been around for centuries, as we know, okay? But the real woman who started it all is Painted by Esther. And whilst Painted by Esther did not invent blush, she definitely spent a lot of time obsessively learning everything there is to know about the history of makeup, the history of blush specifically. And over the years, she has trialled things, experimented with things to really build this technique of blush transition, specifically to elevate the look of melanin skin, to celebrate and elevate the appearance of melanin-rich skin. And I find it so distasteful and just, what are you doing, Patrick? For him to be doing this. Because he has now come in with these new transition blushes of his, and he's now trying to trademark transition blush as a phrase, as a thing, as a product. But it wasn't you, Patrick, who started this. Who spent all that time, all those years, perfecting your technique to celebrate and elevate melanin-rich skin. That was not yours to trademark. Patrick Ta has claimed to have invented basically this transition blush in 2026. But if we have a look at when Painted by Esther first showed everybody her incredible technique when it came to this blush placement and the way she does it, we can see ourselves that she did that in 2024. Now, I'm not great at maths, I'm sure you know, but I know 2024 is before 2026. So what... It's kind of exhausting that these brands and celebrities and whoever else think that the rest of the world is so stupid that we won't be able to work out that it was painted by Esther first. Even then, Esther herself has pointed out that she wasn't the first person to invent this. It's been a thing for decades, at least. In 1997, Kevin Aquan actually posted this technique in his book Making Faces. The exact gradient blush look. And something I find very, very interesting is that when all this drama was at its height, at its peak, Kevin Aquan Beauty actually posted a TikTok stating that whilst they published it first, it was later refined by incredible artists like Esther. So the OG, so to speak, is saying that it was painted by Esther, who has really made this a trend and made this into something massive. It wasn't Patrick Tar. He's just come along now off the, you know, and trying to jump off the back of Painted by Esther's success. And I don't like that at all. Not only does Patrick Tar have disgustingly overpriced products that aren't even great and, you know, get mould on them and things like that, but now he's trying to take something that isn't his and then trademark it. Are you okay? It doesn't seem like you are. If you need help, we're all here to help. But acknowledgement, accountability first, maybe, yeah. And what I find interesting about that statement from Kevin Aquan is the fact that they completely left Patrick Tar out of that statement, which says so much. So much to me. Because if Patrick Tar really, really had such an influence on this blush transition trend, technique, then surely Kevin Aquan would credit him. But they haven't. So what does that tell you? I know I said previously that I don't really see the point in transition blush, and I just want to change that actually, because I do. I'm just being facetious or whatever the word is. I understand that obviously you know, it's a completely different shade to the actual blush, so it's gonna be a seamless blend, as opposed to using one blush shade and just being lighter handed when it comes to blending it closer to your concealer. I know obviously transition blushes do make your makeup look more seamless, but I feel like I'm just so disgusted that Patrick Tar has seen this as a way to just make so much more money off people who were seeing this technique for the first time and thinking, oh my god, I need to be able to do this, but I don't have the right products. And what's Patrick done? Oh, here you go, I've just released a new transition blush palette, here you are, perfect. I feel like a better way of going about this would, not Patrick Tar, maybe someone like Painted by Esther, would be to just show people how to do it like she was. Doing makeup classes so people can go and learn how to do transition blush. Because all we're doing by Patrick Tar releasing these transition blushes is just adding to the overconsumption. You have, you know, I am currently in my bedroom where I have more makeup than I know what to do with. A lot of it I am sorting out to donate because I can't think properly. You know, busy room, busy mind. It's like that, and I just think, why are we making more makeup when we don't necessarily need to? And that's because all Patrick Tar cares about is money, of course. It's not trying to make everyone better at makeup or make the makeup routines easier or just their lives easier and quicker. Of course not. So let's have a look at the first video. This is the one that Patrick Tar posted about his transition blushes.
If you want to take your blush from beautiful to brighten, blurred, baddie, this is my brand new transition blush. So I'm going to show you guys how to achieve this look. This side, we only have a little bit of She's Vibrant on. So I'm just going in pressing motions. I'm gonna apply this right onto the apples of the cheeks in order to give me that seamless blurred under eye. This is quite confident. This is a blurring blush formula. So when I was designing this, I really wanted the pigment level to be very low. So what you wanna do is just take your transition blush brush and you want to seamlessly top your blush. And what this is going to do is going to marry everything together. All I'm doing is taking my transition blush shade and topping it off, giving you a really beautiful blurred blush effect. Sometimes I like to take a little powder puff and I'll take the lighter shade right here and use this and bake right into the inner corners, giving me like a really beautiful like ombre effect. That's why I gave you the options of having 2 transition blush shades. You can either use them separately or use them mixed together, creating your own blush cocktail. This is an ultra blurring formula. If you love blush, you're going to love this 3-step blush routine. This is transition blush and quite confident. Little look here and there, looking so fierce, looking so yummy. Yes.
Now, there isn't really anything wrong with that. If you are just seeing that for the first time and you don't know the history, you don't know about Painted by Esther, any of that, nothing wrong. Let's just watch the next one though.
So I wanted to come on here and tell you guys how and why I made transition blush. So at the heart of this launch, it has always been about the technique. This is a technique that I love and that I've been using on my clients. And let me show you guys how these came to be. So many makeup artists, so many of my friends have been using this technique for years. Transition blush started off as a cream and powder duo. These were the 4 that I was using in my makeup kit. These are in my
I am glad that he said people have been doing this for ages. That is one thing I am going to give him credit for. But let's continue.
blush compacts because we custom made this compact and they weren't ready yet. So these were what I was using in my kit for trial and error. I used to blend a cream color corrector into my concealer. So I wanted to make a product that was purposely for the under eye blending into your concealer. I wanted something that was blurring and I wanted to give more color options than just coral and pink. So this was the start of transition blush. These are all the colors of the creams that I made. And when I was creating these, there were so many blurring attributes to this, but I realized that blending a blurring powder cream into a liquid concealer, it just didn't sit right. And that is when I had to change. These were always designed to be blended into your concealer. I'm going in with my concealer first. And then I'm gonna take my liquid transition blush. Placement for this is key. You don't wanna put it onto the apples of your cheeks. It's really meant to be blended into your concealer. So my technique was always blending my color correctors into my concealer to really create this color, but the shades were only pink and coral. So I wanted to come out with more. I am going to disperse this into my concealer. I took a lot of attributes that I loved from my concealer and I put those ingredients into my transition blush. I wanted all of the formulas to work well together because the under eyes, I wanted them to be light and bright. I realized that there was never actually a product for this step. We use so many different products in order to create this ombre effect underneath the eyes. Of course, you can do this at home with the products that you have, but these products that I designed are intentionally made for this step. For me, Shy at First is one of my favorite shades. I've always been a lover of a beautiful pink under eye. So that's why this like baby pink like screams my name. I love putting pink into my concealers because I just like love that baby doll pink under eye. So the two shades are gonna look like your color correctors are Shy at First and Did You Notice? So I wanted to create other shades that do not come in color correctors just so that like a wider range of skin tones could really try this technique. So you wanna make sure that you set your under eyes with translucent setting powder. So now going in with my original blush, and putting this just like right onto the apples of the cheeks. So blush for me has always been my favorite step in any makeup application. It's what my brand is rooted in. So over the last year and a half, I started development.
That's funny, I heard your brand was rooted in mouldy products.
On transition blushes. What you see in the collection today isn't how this collection started. New formulas with custom packaging take a long time. They don't happen overnight. So I'm excited to show you guys the evolution of where we came to be with our transition blurring powders. It started off as a pressed powder. I found this formula that I was obsessed with. I made tweaks to make sure that it was extra blurring, and it gave me this like flawless airbrush effect that I wanted for the under eyes. I added a little bit of pigment to these pressed powders, and it created like the perfect transition, a powder that I would already use to blend into my blush. The reason why that these were so lightly pigmented is because they were intended to be. I wanted to create that seamless blend from your under eyes, but I didn't want like this dark color. You don't want this dark color underneath your eyes. You want a really beautiful gradient. Your blush color will be the star of the show. This is like the perfect in between from your concealer to your blush. These were not created to be used by themselves. You use them as like your blush topper to really connect the in between. Of course, you can achieve this look with products that you have at home, but I made this product especially for this step. This is an ultra blurring pressed powder, and I called it transition blush because that's how I use it. Take that now. I'm going to start the blurring transition, and I'm using quite a bit. Like you guys can see, like no matter like how much you put on, you will not put on too much. But I really want to start the transition from the blush to the concealer. Do you guys see how amazing that looks? And then I'm gonna take my powder puff. I'm gonna go in with the lighter shade and put this right just into the inner corners of the eyes to really build out that gradient. Both sides, in my opinion, look amazing. I think this side just is a little bit more diffuse. It is like the slightest like blend where it makes it look so much more natural. When you try it, it is so blurring. Like it just makes the blending so seamless, so easy. Like this product was formulated just for this. There aren't that many light blushes on the market, especially in Sephora right now, that don't have mica or pearl. This is like a completely matte formula, so it's perfect for your under eye. One last step, I promise you, I would recommend going in with your powder bronzer, trapping your blush in so it brings that color back. I promise you, trapping your blush with your bronzer, you're gonna love it. Honestly, are these a must-have? I don't know if any makeup is a must-have, but honestly, I'm obsessed with them. I think that if you guys love this look and you want to easily or make it easier to achieve it with products intended for this part, try it out. So I wanted.
I'm sorry, but what part of that is supposed to be easier? You've got a palette with 2 different shades in, yeah? I'm sure people have got blush palettes at home. If you don't, you know, 2 different blushes, something you already have, and you can probably definitely get a lot cheaper. I don't understand this man. Where was the mention of Painted by Esther? Where was the credit to her in any way? If he didn't want to give proper credit, the least he could have said is that he's seen many different artists. You know, let me phrase it for you, just roughly. I've seen many of my fellow makeup artist friends do this technique. No, that's not proper credit because he's not mentioning a name, but even that would have been great. No mention of Painted by Esther. No mention of Kevin Aquan. Patrick Tardy, you honestly think you've just come along and just, you know, invented this hack for people to have flawless blush and no one's ever done it before? No, you know people have done it before. And where's my proof for this? Let's have a look. Now for the next video, and I want you to really watch this carefully, because let's just say this video that I'm going to show you now, it's got an important detail in.
I cannot watch another video of you applying your blush wrong. I am just kidding. Wear this blush however you want, but I'm going to show you guys my preferred way. So I like to apply my powder before cream. I like high pigment payoff. I am using my precision blush brush, and it is very important to get an even coating of the powder onto your blush. So I'm applying She's a Doll. I'm applying this by just going in pressing motions and applying that just right onto the apples of the cheeks. You can leave it here, Or if you want to try my technique, then take the cream blush, evenly coat the blush brush onto the back of your palm, and apply the cream right onto the apples of the cheekbones. When you apply your cream over your powder, it creates this really beautiful sheen, making your skin look natural and healthy. This formula is a really unique formula where it really just lays perfectly on top of all powders. You want to make sure that you apply your cream blush in pressing motions, not swiping motions, because that will disrupt your makeup underneath. What's so special about my cream and powder blush duos is that you get 2 in 1. I cannot watch another video of you applying your blush.
So first of all, I cannot watch you apply your blush wrong. Who are you to say that anyone is applying their blush wrong? People can apply their blush as any way they choose to. That is none of your concern, Patrick. And to say, I'm not going to watch you do this, well, what are you offering? You're not offering to teach people how to apply it properly the way you have taught yourself to. No. You are taking somebody else's technique that they have spent years practicing and perfecting and trying to pass it off as your own. And I say this because there were a very important little key phrase that he said in that video. And it was, I'm going to show you my blush technique. Emphasis on the my. Because to say it's my blush technique would mean it's mine. I have spent years perfecting this and practicing and trialing. But no, honey, as we know, and as we're going to find out, it was Esther. And then I'm not sure about you, but if I was to demonstrate me placing some blush on the back of my palm, I wouldn't say the back of my palm, because it's not a common phrase. It's not a common way to describe that part of your body. More often than not, people would say the back of my hand. But did you notice how Patrick said the back of my palm? Leave that key phrase in your head for this next video.
Hey guys, it's me, PBE, Esther. I'm honestly very nervous to make this video. Please forgive how I sound. I'm actually very ill. I've been ill for like past few days, so I've just been trying to recover. But obviously, given everything that's been spoken about, I was like, you know what, I might finally say something, because what I don't like is, I don't like being scared to say things, because you know how easy it is for them to angry black women, us. Like, I'm actually getting tired of constantly being spoken for and being scared to speak, because I am a black woman. And it's not even about being a victim. It's about, this is just how it is. The second you say something, you instantly look disgruntled and angry and all the things. I'm not angry. My life is amazing. God is good. I have a great life. I have great clients. I have great family. I have great friends around me. You know, I'm very happy and fulfilled, and it's taken me a long time to get here. I'm actually trying not to cry and like, probably because I'm also sick. Like, it's hard for me to get my words out. But what this whole thing is particularly strange to me, because I spend a lot of my own money and I spend a lot of my own time, and I spend so much effort doing something and honing something. Nobody can say, I've actually never one time said I started anything. You cannot find me a singular tweet, proof, anything that I have ever said I started this. That's silly. I'm an artist, and I come from my goal is to constantly reference artists like Kevin Aquan and Danessa and Pat, and how they move with grace and how they move with intention and intentionality. So when I do things, I'm aware of what I'm doing, and I'm aware of where I want to take it. And what I don't like is when people try and rush you to do things. You're silly because you didn't patent it. You're silly because you should have said it was your... No, because I'm not giving that grace. to fully take ownership for anything, because it instantly is met with, well, you didn't start it, or you didn't create it, how dare you? So I've just never even claimed that, right? So that's that aside. The second part of it is, I have had really weird experiences with Patrick. This is not, all my friends know, they can attest for me, because I speak about this to them. The weirdest one recently, because I want to say there's been about 2 or 3. The weirdest one recently was, I was in LA. I get a booking request from the other half of Patrick Tar. So it's not just him. There's another half of him, which is Remy. I don't want to mispronounce her name. I genuinely don't know how to pronounce it. So she asked to book me. She's messaged me. She's texted me. She's got my number through a hairstylist I just recently done a collab look with. So I've accepted the request. I don't normally accept requests directly to me. My agent handles that. She has asked to book me for a do and go. A do and go means you do it and you leave. There's no in between, right? It's not a one-to-one lesson. It's not a teaching lesson. It's none of that. It's you do it and you leave. She has booked me, and then on the day of the booking, I get a text from my agent. Oh, so-and-so, her name, wants to record you doing the glam. To which I said, no, that doesn't sit right with me. That's not what you're booking me for. That's not what the nature of the job is, you know? So I cancelled that booking because I found that very strange. Like, why would you want to record me doing my work? No one does that. You can see the kind of people I work with. None of them have ever asked to do that, because it's just not a thing you do. If you want to learn, if you want me to teach you, then that's a different service. So that is conniving. And there's been a lot of conniving. There's a lot of conniving things that happen in the industry, but I will never speak about it, because honestly speaking, I don't care. I am an artist. My driving force is to create and share it. And my end goal is to teach, is to spread my knowledge. I cannot leave this earth. That is a disservice to God. I cannot leave this earth keep harboring my knowledge. My goal is to spread it. I'm not a gatekeeper. I have timelines for things. I'm getting also sick of that narrative, like you gatekeep, you didn't know. Actually, I have intentions to teach and to spread the knowledge. I am within my rights to decide when I do that. Yeah, you don't get to tell me when to do that. I do the work. I spend my own money. I spend thousands of my own money constantly buying new products, testing new products, experimenting. A lot of the time when I post, as of late, is because I bought all these fancy new things that I want to try, and that's my own pocket. Nobody's giving me that for free, you know? So that's what hurts me, is when people come on here, they don't know me, they don't know my work, they don't know how hard I've tried for this. It's already hard being black, being a woman in this industry. You have to genuinely fight twice as hard to get just half of what you deserve, okay? I'm naturally not a boastful person. You cannot find me. Genuinely, I will give, if you can find me where I have said I'm the inventor, I'm the creator, and all these things, please present the proof. And what I will lastly say, I'm genuinely grateful for people that see me. I'm grateful for the videos and the people that are defending me. That I've been crying all day. I'm sick and I'm crying. It's not fair. I'm trying to actually heal my body. I don't need all this stress, okay? What I will lastly say is the timing of things is very convenient. I posted a tutorial with Kosas, and in that tutorial, I said the holy grail, the secret ingredient is using a powder puff. He's also done the same thing, conveniently after. I don't care about the timings. I don't care. My thing is, if that was really the crux of your technique, you would have made a powder puff. You make brushes. It's not hard to make a powder puff, you know? It's very easy, actually. It's the easiest thing to make. If that was really a part of your thing, a part of your a key ingredient in how you do something, he would have been marketed it. Let's be for real, you know? It's not. So I'm getting tired of the constant chitter chatter. It's annoying. It's very annoying. And it's annoying from people that don't work as hard as me, don't suffer as much as I do in this. to constantly have this chat is jarring. It's actually annoying. Please keep me out your mouths. Stop talking about me, please. I'm so frustrated. I'm so beyond over it. But God bless every single person that sees it for what it is. God bless every single person that sees me for what I am, that sees my work for what it is. Again, I'll reiterate, listen, I did not start anything. I am 29 years old. That would be ludicrous of me to claim ownership for anything. But what I did do, and what you will not belittle, is my influence, babe. Google me, actually. Google all the publications that know how to credit me, and they know how to credit the artist that they see is resurging something. Google me. That's all. That's it. But thank you to everyone. This is the first and last time I will ever address anything. Naturally, I'm not a talker anyway. I like to be quiet. I like to be in my brain. So this is dragging me out my comfort zone. But I have to say something. It really weighs on you when people that don't know you, that don't work as hard as you, that don't know what it takes to do this job, that don't know the fuckeries that happen in this industry, just chat. You don't know anything. You haven't achieved anything. Stop talking about me. I work so hard. I try so hard. I have come from nothing. I have come from foster care to be in this space, and to constantly have people just talk about me, and it's so annoying. Just let this be the last. Thank you. This is a one take video because I genuinely just wanted to get it all out there and dead it. Please.
Okay, that video was emotionally harder than I thought it was going to be. I hate seeing people cry, especially when they've done nothing wrong. It's Patrick that's done something wrong here. And do you know what? I find it so mind-blowing that not only is he using the phrase "on the back of my palm," again, as Esther's already said, that is not a term that is commonly used. You would say the back of your hand. There's just so much wrong with this. I think, you know, the main point being the phrasing that Patrick Tar is using. The back of my palm is not a common phrase. That is a phrase that Esther has used. And she said herself that it was a kind of typo, like a mispronunciation kind of thing. We've all been in that situation when we're trying to think of a word or a phrase and it just comes out a little bit different. But this phrase is definitely not something that's commonly used. I've never once heard someone say "on the back of my palm" when they're referring to makeup specifically. And also about the powder puff, if Patrick Tar has been using brushes and whatever else he's been using, and then all of a sudden, after Esther has admitted to using a powder puff, Patrick Tar suddenly is. It literally makes no sense to me. I don't know why you would do this. He is already a successful brand. I don't know how. Surprisingly, he is. Surprisingly, people still support him. But it blows my absolute mind how someone as big and successful as Patrick Tar is so comfortable stealing other people's ideas and techniques. And just to reiterate, like Esther said, no, she has not founded this. She was not the first person to ever do this. She hasn't started it, but she has refined it, perfected it, practiced all those years, put so much hard work and effort into what she's done. Just for Patrick to come and try and take over and make out like it's all his, it isn't. And honestly, I think if you're still supporting and buying for Patrick Tar after this, I don't know what to say to you. Why are we making him more successful when he is so openly trying to just profit off someone else's technique, someone else's hard work, someone else's sacrifices? Because like Esther was saying, and sadly it is the truth, black women, black people have got to work harder. So much harder for half of the reward. And then you get stupid people who are like, oh, well, that's not a thing, that doesn't happen. Look around. It's a thing. It happens and it is happening. And more importantly, unless Patrick Tar's palm bends backwards, your palm doesn't have a back. Meaning he didn't just copy her technique. he copied her literal vocabulary. The literal words that she used to describe her own technique, he's copied it word for word. No, not all of it, but enough for us to notice. But even though people like Patrick Tar obviously don't have the morals where they should be, I am happy to see that Kevin Aquan Beauty does. This is a TikTok that they posted when this controversy all started, and I just love it. I just love it because I've got Esther's back. Let's have a look, and I'll read you the caption. I love that. I love it. I love it. I love a bit of lightheartedness throughout all of this because, I mean, I'm only loving it because they're on Esther's side. If they were on Patrick's side, then I'd hate it. And rightfully so. But let's look at the caption. So it says, "We heard transition blush is having quite the moment right now. Long before the term started circulating online, this technique was first published by legendary makeup artist Kevin Aquan and later refined by incredible artists like Painted by Esther and tagging her. Oh yes, that's what we like." In 2018, our Neo blush was created with the purpose of honouring Kevin's legacy and teachings. We've been delivering customisable colour, dimension and glow for almost a decade. Just a little beauty history lesson. Winky face. I think that's really cheeky, I love it. The hashtags are Transition Blush, Kevin Aquan, Neo Blush, Painted by Esther and Patrick Tar. So I do like that. I think it's a light-hearted way of trying to just getting everyone to calm themselves. Painted by Esther, in her own right, she can kick off however she likes to. I tell you now, I'd be fuming. But I think it's just a nice humbling post for Patrick Tar, just to remind him, you are not the first one, okay? You haven't done this first. This isn't something you can go and have trademarks because people have done it before you. You are not the original. Which brings me on to a little bit of it's not an unrelated topic, but it is just a little point I'd like to make about just trademarking in general. As we know, Patrick Tar is a very big brand, very successful. For some reason, many people still support him. So, is that success not enough? Why do you need to push it when you know it wasn't your idea to start with and you've blatantly copied Painted by Esther? Why would you go and try to have something trademarked or even talk about having it trademarked? First of all, that isn't going to happen because you are not the original. You did not... It's already a thing. It has been a thing. Second, when you are experiencing all of this backlash because you have copied Painted by Esther, by copying her technique and her vocabulary, why would you then want to go and try and have it trademarked? It blows my mind. It is so stupid, it's unreal. It feels unreal, it feels surreal. It is not your idea to trademark or patent or whatever. It's not your idea. You didn't start it first, you are not the original. Kevin Aquan, Painted by Esther. There were similar things happening in the 70s and 80s. You cannot go have this trademarked. And to even talk about it is just ridiculous. For that thought to have even gone through that head of yours is ludicrous. I feel like this is just a prime example of how with certain people the success and the fame and the recognition just goes to your head. I feel like this is a prime example of how with some people success can go straight to the head. They can't see or they don't care about the people that have come before them, the people that have paved the way. They're just so desperate for the next level of success that they will do whatever they want. Whether it's ethical or not, whether it's right or not, whether it's fraudulent or not, they don't care. And I think Patrick Tar is a prime example of that, allegedly, in my opinion. These comments in this video, all my own opinion. But obviously what's being said in videos is factual because it's him saying it. Hello? The back of my palm. I'm gonna need the Patrick Ta marketing team to have a real word with themselves, because it's another case of this has gone through a whole team of people before being released, before being posted. And again, it's a case of what not one of you thought this is not what we should be doing. How about instead of, you know, releasing transition blushes, Patrick, you perfect your marketing team, you sort your attitude out, you credit people where credit is due. You don't copy people's techniques and products and transcripts for the videos. Just stop it. Get some help. It's just mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. It is just mind-blowing. What was he trying to achieve with this? Because it's just annoying at this point. And one last thing I want to say is black creators should not have to fight twice as hard to get half the recognition and acknowledgement and praise that everybody else gets. Again, words that I shouldn't even have to say, but for some reason, that's just the way things are. No. We're in 2026, not 1906. What is wrong with everyone? Just think of how things could be if we just give people credit, the credit they deserved, the recognition they deserved, the platforms they deserved, without having to force them to work so hard to receive the bare minimum. Just think of what could have been done if Patrick Ta didn't steal this technique or Painted by Esther's words, and instead he chose to build bridges with her and put the minds together to create something different, innovative, and something that was truly theirs, not just Esther's, with Patrick Ta trying to just make a profit off it. I fell down quite a deep rabbit hole anyway when I was finding videos for this video, so I am definitely going to be doing a bit of a history of Patrick Ta video coming up, because there's many things he's done that I just don't agree with, and I feel like it needs to be spoken about. So that's what we're going to do, okay? That's what we're going to do. But for today, as of now, this is the end of this video. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, rest of your week. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe if this channel is your vibe. We have many deep dives, we have many, what the fuck is this? Videos. Like, why are you doing this? Love you, bye. Okay, I'm back for a second just to go over a statement that Patrick Ta has released. I did this video on the 16th of June, which was yesterday, and later that day, Patrick Ta has put up an official statement about this whole controversy. So we're going to read that now and discuss it. So it says, recently the launch of Transition Blush in capitals, has he trademarked it? He must have done. Well, I don't know. We'll find out. The launch of Transition Blush contributed to a larger issue than I first understood, and I want to take a moment to take accountability. We love some accountability. My intention was to create a product that made a makeup technique I love more accessible. It was never my intention to claim ownership over a blush technique or a way of applying makeup. As an artist and creator myself, I now understand why Esther and others saw it through a different lens. I'm genuinely sorry for the hurt and frustration I caused. That was never my intention, but I have learned that impact matters more than intent. I understand that the reaction wasn't just about the product itself, it was about something much bigger. Recognition, visibility, and the experiences many creators, especially black creators, have had when their contributions to culture are overlooked or not recognised. Black creators have had an enormous influence on beauty culture, trends and artistry, and that influence often goes unattributed and unrewarded. I have tremendous respect for Esther and for all the artists and creators who have helped shape and advance this technique. Artists, creators and communities are the reason brands succeed, and I recognise my responsibility to acknowledge influence and help ensure that people feel respected, valued and fairly supported. Right now, my focus is to continue to learn and find meaningful ways to support the artists, creators, founders, and communities that make this industry flourish. Artistry has given me my voice and my career, and it's important to me to continue to pour into and champion the next generation of artists. Love, Patrick Tarr. So when I'm just reading the comments of this post, the top one that has come up on my page is from Colby J Makeup, who I follow on Instagram. They said, definitely a certain demographic in the comments excusing this behaviour. So somebody commented saying, dear black woman, you don't own crap, not a makeup technique, not a hairstyle, nothing. Just like us white people, or any other race for that matter, get over yourself. To which they replied saying, oh, someone's obsessed. Facts. All I hear is facts. Because what do you mean? History shows us that for years, for absolutely years, inspiration is constantly being taken from black culture. So to say that black people don't own a thing is disgusting. First of all, wrong. Not a makeup technique, not a hairstyle. I know this is off topic because this is just one comment from some stupid person on the internet, but I think it's so important to talk about it because what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean black people don't own a makeup technique, don't own a hairstyle? There are certain hair types that only black people have. So what do you mean they don't own a hairstyle? Anyone with eyes and a brain can see that that is false. Black people do own hairstyles and they do own makeup techniques. The stupidity is in full force today. But going back to the statement by Patrick Tarr, it's interesting to me that he says, as an artist and creator myself, I now understand why Esther and others saw it through a different lens. What other lens could you see it through? I don't feel like this is an apology. It is him trying to justify the way he's gone about things. It's him trying to justify stealing someone else's technique and terminology, vocabulary they've used to describe that technique. It's pure damage control on his part and marketing team's part, because that's not a real apology. Seriously, you think that statement is enough, is okay? His marketing team said, here you go, put this out and everything will be fine. And another thing, I don't know, obviously, because I didn't write it. I'm not part of the Patrick Tarr marketing team. But it looked a little bit suspicious to me in terms of the wording that's being used. I feel like this could possibly be an AI job. Maybe he's asked ChatGPT or other AI services to write an apology. I just find the way that it's written very different to the way that Patrick speaks and the words that he uses. Yes, I use different words in videos to how I speak in real life, like to my friends and things, but I'm talking about from a business point of view here. And I feel like if he was to put out an apology that was in his own words, it wouldn't be written like that. Them words specifically wouldn't be used. And it's specifically this line here. Artists, creators and communities are the reason brands succeed, and I recognise my responsibility to acknowledge influence and help ensure that people feel respected, valued and fairly supported. I'm not sure about that. It just doesn't feel to me, in my opinion, something like something Patrick would say. But who am I? I'm just a girl with opinions. And just something right at the top, right at the start of that statement that I feel like is just such a low thing to do. It's such a low blow. He's putting transition blush in capital letters. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you only do that when it's trademarked and it's something that is kind of a one and only thing, which transition blush isn't. And I feel like that is I feel like it's a little sly dig at Esther almost, like, okay, I'm going to put this apology out just to make everyone feel better and, you know, change everyone's minds about me, but let me just tell you, transition blush is a thing and it is my thing and I will trademark it. That's the vibe I'm getting from that and I don't feel like it's right. Of course it's not right. You're putting out an apology for your behaviour and the fact that you haven't given Esther credit just to put transition blush in capital letters like it is yours. Because let's be honest, Patrick, it is not yours. We know this now. We've always known this. Because in 2024 is when Painted by Esther first showed us that amazing technique. It wasn't you. And it honestly frustrates me so much because seeing that video of Esther crying and getting upset, I feel like that is such a low thing to do. It's like he's still trying to take ownership of something that isn't his. And he's just being bitchy about it. Like, here, I'll put out a statement saying I'm sorry, but I'm not really, because it's mine. It hasn't changed my views on Patrick's heart, unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to look at it. I just think he's a disgusting human. Like, why? It's not just this one time that he's been horrible. Not just this one circumstance. It has happened a few times, according to Esther, and I believe her, of course. If she says it happened, it definitely happened. I'm not going to believe Patrick over her. But there has been a few occasions where he's just done some really dodgy shit. Like getting someone from his marketing team or wherever from to go and have a makeup appointment with Esther and trying to record it. And do you know what? I'm glad she cancelled that appointment. Because we all know what would have happened. We all know the reason this person who was going for the appointment wanted to record. And that was because they were going to take it back to Patrick so he could analyse every single movement of her hands, every single product she uses, how much of the product she uses, how many times she pats the brush on the back of her palm, all of that. We know he'd be analysing every single detail for his own personal gain, whilst not giving her credit. There will be another video to this because Patrick's heart needs some investigating. Definitely, I feel you need to do some different things, because if you are wanting your business to be successful, your brand to be successful, you're going about it the wrong way, in my opinion. No, I'm not an expert. No, I don't have a beauty brand, but as a consumer, I'm telling you this isn't the right way to do it. Customers want to see authenticity, integrity, honesty, loyalty, intelligence when it comes to the products. Anyway, that's all for today's video. I just wanted to add that bit on because I feel like it was important and obviously relevant to this video. But as I say, I will be doing another video on him because we need to look at the past things that he's done as well. It's not fair to just look at one occasion. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe if this channel is your vibe for the second time. Love you. Bye.